let's just put this in perspective when we're comparing the two, because I look at the MVP one and I go, that's fun, but that's also like at the end of a night and like you see some chick at a bar and you're kind of drunk and she's kind of hot kind of thing, right? Like what about the next morning? How's she gonna look? Is she gonna be there next weekend? Is she gonna be there for you in a month when the shit hits the fan? The UFC is the wifey. The UFC is the bae. 42 shows a year, the best fighters in the world, and this is just one of their cards, the White House card, with some of the best current fighters in the world battling each other. So we're taking one promotion, and that puts on 42 shows a year, and this is one of their better cards, against another promotion that's doing one card a year, and we're trying to compare apples to oranges. It's not in the same ballpark.
The thing about fighting is we just gotta wait and see. There's some fun names on the White House card. I like the White House card. Justin Gaethje and Ilia Topuria. Sugar Sean's on there. I think there's some good fight. Pereira versus Gane is actually, that's a fun fight, man. Yeah. I think that's a tough one. So, those guys are big, but those are 3 fights compared to Mike Perry, Nate Diaz. That's a fight that a lot of people can get excited about.
I think they're both great.
Francis Ngannou versus, help me out.
Philippe Lins.
Hey, but for people saying compare it to the White House card, no chance. Guys, come on. The White House card is the best card of the year for sure. And it's better than that. Let's just be completely honest. So
Garrett has the MMA or this Netflix card pulled up, but there's been a lot of talks Netflix versus the White House card. I mean, I get it. It's like people want to be haters and they're like, no, the Netflix. It's just like it's fucking Ilia and fucking Gaethje headlining, and you got Pereira fighting Gane. You got Sugar Sean, the biggest American superstar in all of the land, fighting
versus the great superstar phenom Amian Zahabi.
Thank you. I couldn't have said it better myself.
And every headline that has come out has compared the Netflix card to the White House card. It's an interesting debate because the business models are so wildly different. And I read a narrative that was largely that Netflix has won this battle. Netflix putting this effort forward. Jake Paul went as far as to say that the UFC is over. And I only found that interesting and I found that compelling because the entire Netflix card is comprised of people from the UFC. Like, what are those announcements going to look like? Oh, we've got this killer card, and let's start with our Nate Diaz, who from the Ultimate Fighter in the UFC, and so on with Perry. And then you get to Francis Ngannou. Are they not going to announce former UFC champion of the world? What else are you going to say? This big dude named Francis? Maybe, but I don't think so.
But I guess to run this back, ultimately is the MVP card better than the UFC card? And what are we basing it off of? Are we going to base it off of the amount of views that it gets? Because Netflix has a way longer arm and reach when it comes to viewership than Paramount Plus. New generation of fighters at the top of their game. White House card is technically better. You can't deny that. They're the active fighters at the top of their game.
But now, if you ask me straight up, like, what card is better? Because you just said it, Dom. Dom at headquarters is the one that asked this question. I'm gonna answer you very, very blunt. There's no comparison, right? Like, you got 2 ladies that are 45 years old, 50 years old. Gina, I love her to death. One of my favorite females because she took the sport there. She took over Strikeforce. I actually fought in the same cards with her once or twice. I met her. She's like a good person, but she hasn't fought in 17 years. And Ronda, I mean, after Holly Holm cleaned her clock, she didn't come back. She didn't do nothing for a while either. And then she fought Amanda. Amanda cleaned her clock. She disappeared off the face of the earth. It was bad. And we don't even know if she was training this whole time, what she was doing. So am I excited about that fight on that level? I want to see the fight, but it's not going to compare to Ilia fighting Justin Gaethje ever. Like there's no comparison.
There's a lot of notable names.
There's a lot of notable
Ngannou,
names.
Ronda,
But
Nate.
then okay, so then now we'll go to the co-main event: Perry versus Nate Diaz, Ngannou versus Pereira. Pereira and Gane. I mean Pereira versus Gane. Ciryl Gane. Sorry, I messed up there. There's no comparison, you know.
I mean, the Netflix card is gonna blow UFC White House out of the water in terms of viewership. Like it's got to be apples and oranges. How bad they're gonna like triple up the White House. I really think it's gonna do big numbers. It's gonna do like 17, 18 million or more. Like especially with Nate on there. Like people underestimate how big of a star Nate is. Like he is a bona fide star. He is probably the biggest star on the entire card, and that includes Ronda Rousey. Like putting him on the card was perfect. For all the people that's like, oh, Ronda hasn't fought in 10 years. She's not that popular anymore because she did WWE and everyone hates her. Now you got Nate, who's like a massive star. So people are going to watch this shit. A whole bunch of them. The UFC card is going to be like better. Like it's going to be a better card, but the MVP card is going to be way more fun.
Ronda Rousey, Gina Carano, Francis Ngannou taking on the Brazilian. And now another banger. Mike Perry taking on Nate Diaz. Listen, Henry, you can say whatever you want, but this is starting to look like a UFC pay-per-view card.
This is a great card. I'll be quite frank with you, bro. Call me crazy what I'm about to say. I think this is just as good as the fucking white card, the UFC white card.
Do I call you crazy? Do I call you crazy? No, I don't call you crazy. No, I don't call you crazy.
Francis Ngannou's in it. Nate Diaz is in it. Ronda Rousey is in it.
These two things occupy different spaces. These cards are not comparable from that perspective, right? The basis of comparison might be if you do the viewership, right? That's where MVP and Netflix are going to have a significant advantage. But if you do on the basis of like what most hardcore fight fans are interested in, it's obviously going to be an Ilia Topuria fight. It's obviously going to be an Alex Pereira fight. There's no doubt, right? But once you start getting outside of that, once you start spreading the net a little bit wider, names like Nate Diaz and names like Ronda Rousey start to have more appeal, right?
Now, compared to the UFC White House card, this Netflix card is so sick, and it's going to have success. We need it to have success. It gives these guys opportunities to make paydays over $3,000. Okay? When PFL goes away, it's probably a matter of time. If the only place you can make 5, 6, 7 figures of the UFC, then that just sucks. That sucks. Netflix, they're going to be able to pay out some good bread. So I'm pumped that this card's big. We all need to be pumped. And the whole comparisons of the cards, it's pretty stupid. As fans, we should just be pumped up. Let's go. May 16th, huge fight. We're going to watch it. We're all going to watch it.
I honestly don't care. The way I view it is May 9th you're getting Khamzat versus Sean Strickland. May 16th you're getting this. May 23rd you're getting Rico versus Usyk, and then June 14th, and I might be missing another one. June 14th you're getting the white. Like if you're a fan of all these crazy sports, you're loving life. This is great, and it's only good if there are other options. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is amazing. In the span of 7 days we're getting that great main event in Newark, and then this a week later. When's the last time we had a back-to-back like that in MMA?
And the MVP card on Netflix, it is all spectacle. It is all, the biggest stars that you could probably sign in this free agency period, like Ngannou, like Perry, like Diaz, bringing back a girl in Ronda Rousey who, most modern fans, and truthfully, I'll be candid, I started watching in 2017. That was post the Rousey era. But upon having gone back and researched, bro, she was setting pay-per-view record after pay-per-view record. She was a massive fucking star. So I think there is this huge demo that is very curious about Ronda Rousey. They all know the name. Now they're going to see her fight on Netflix. Wow, it's drawing people in. But it's not comparable to the White House card, right? I think it's not comparable. I don't think it's fair to compare. I think they're just different intentions behind both shows, and that's perfectly fine for them to coexist. I think that trying to do a which one's better, which one's worse, defeats the entire purpose. Let them coexist. There doesn't need to be this... Yeah, there doesn't need to be this battle of which one's better. This is the first MMA show on Netflix. Mm-hmm. That's the storyline for me.
Good for them, man. But I don't. So
All right, so I mean, obviously there is a standard that they don't have to live up to, because let's just say this: imagine if that card was on the UFC, we'd be like, "What the fuck is the UFC doing?"
Yeah.
Right? So, but so I'm very happy that these guys are able to get this payday, because they'll probably get paid pretty good. And I'm sure that with the Netflix, being free, they're probably throwing a lot of money at Jake Paul and them, so to put on a good card. But that's not what matters to me. What matters to me is the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. So it's easy to cherry pick this event and go, oh, see, we got some competition now. Good for these guys. The card's great. That's great, man. I love it, man. Put it on. But in June, what you gonna do in June? What you gonna do in July? What you gonna do in August? You know what I'm saying? Like who are you? Who's gonna eat in those months? So that's all I'm asking. And I'm not saying that it's that nothing's gonna happen. I'm just asking, what are we gonna do then? Because like this card, okay, it's great, but what we gonna do in June, July, August? Because I know the UFC moving.